Hey, what's up everyone? HOMOLKA here and welcome to another episode in English. This time with a special guest, Verhoeven, founder of Hands of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Holland. I mean, this guy has been around the world, trained with the best, and I really enjoy talking to him, so I believe you will enjoy the podcast as well. Let's do it. Hey,
what's up?
Happy to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
I'm happy that it worked. How did you get to Czech Republic, helping guys with the gym and stuff like that? Because the way I get to know you is through Tomáš and Michael. And how did you get together and how did it happen?
It's funny because I have a gym in Holland, and let me think. This goes back 3 or 4 years ago. This bald guy walks in, right, like a sturdy guy. So right away, all right, this guy is either from Poland or Czech Republic, one of those countries, because you guys are all strong, right?
I know exactly who you mean, and I'm not surprised that you like.
So I'm okay. So he signed. I want to do a trial class because I trained in Czech Republic. So okay. And then guy signs up. Very nice guy, very smart guy, Pavel Krpela.
Right.
Smart guy. I said, all right. Starts talking. Right away, he fits in. He fits in like he's been training with us for 10 years. So we start building a relationship with him. All my guys, we all like him, and he starts training. And the guy is strong as I cannot swear. I have to be careful because I like to swear a lot.
Feel free.
The guy is strong like an ox, right? All right, I was right. Typical guy from this country. So in the beginning, I don't care about guys being strong because you manhandle them and you just choke them out.
Right.
So after a couple of months, I said, Pavel, all right, listen to me. You're a very smart guy, right? You're one of the smartest guys that I know. Listen to me. Stop fighting. Start training. Biggest mistake of my life. Because
even better.
Half a year later, the guy is fucking good. He starts to really understand jiu-jitsu and my jiu-jitsu. My style is very unorthodox.
Okay.
So he starts to really get into my philosophy, and all of a sudden it gets tougher and tougher and tougher. And then there come a time, holy shit, he really starts to understand it. So, long story short, at some point he says, I have friends in the Czech Republic, in Prague, where I trained. Is it okay that they come train here? I said, Pavel, your friends are my friends. Bring them over. They're more than welcome. So they came. I think the first time they came with like 12 or 14 people. I said, holy shit, that's pretty good, right? For the first time to come to a new place. And then we started training. Same thing. All these guys could fucking fight, but it was fighting and it was not using the brain. I mean, sufficiently, I should say. So they came another time, and then a third time, and then they said, look guys. And we were talking in between, because I really like those guys. They're very sweet guys, and they're youngs, and they're eager to learn. They're eager to have their own business. I said, okay, let me think about this. So they came a fourth time or a fifth time, and I said, guys, what do you think about joining this, my team, the association, Hands of Gracie Holland? And yeah. Okay, really? I said, yeah, man. You fit right in. You're nice guys. You're stubborn like me, but you have you have a little bit of a vision what you want to do with your life, and I think you'll fit right in. So push comes to shove, the guys join the team, and Here we are.
Fucking A.
Yeah, it's good, right?
That's awesome.
And with the whole Corona shit now, it's terrible for everybody involved in sports.
Right.
But I'm here to support, and I want to make sure that everybody in my team does well, because the next 2 years we have to survive. Every sports gym or school or academy has to do with sports, even suppliers. We have to survive as a community. So I'll do anything in my power to support my guys and to support other people, just to help them out with seminars or bring them over with seminars or bring them to my school, that we keep moving forward.
Nice.
And there'll come a change where we are allowed to do what we do now.
Right.
Or did before, right. And start having our businesses back and so forth. But now is the time for me as the team leader, and I don't like to call myself that, but to support my guys and make sure the attitude stays right. We stay focused, we stay positive, because that's the only thing we can do, And my role there is just to do that.
Nice. Perfect. So you are from Holland.
Yeah.
So this is the epicenter of this stuff.
Well, no, Actually, the epicenter where I'm from, Breda, the epicenter in Holland is kickboxing. Like Amsterdam and Breda is like the two. Like you back in the day, you had Golden Glory, which is now Hammer's gym.
Right.
Cor Hammer's Golden Glory disbanded, and then Nicky, the son of Cor, took over in his Hammer's gym. Cor is now back with his son. They just built a new nice gym. So that's the epicenter of in the south for kickboxing. And Amsterdam, of course, is you have all these other schools, and jiu-jitsu just is growing like here. Excuse me. I came back from the States in 2008. So in 2009, Enzo told me, I told him I'm going back to the States. He said, well, my brother, why don't you open up a school? I said, Enzo, I'm a purple belt. That's okay. Who cares?
Nice.
I'll make sure Igor comes, Hollis comes, Gregor comes, all these guys come to support you, and we start building something.
Nice.
You sure? I said, okay. So I came back in 2008, November. Then in March 2009, I had my first little gym. A couple of hours in the week was, I think my mat space was 49 square meters. Okay. I mean, there's nothing, right?
Not twice this car.
No, just like it's similar to where we are now. And then a year and a half later, I went to a bigger place. And in 2013, I had my first big one. It was 330 square meters.
Okay.
And then a couple of years later, I had the second one, so I have 660 square meters. Then we just opened up a new gym, a city next to us, 30 kilometers east of us. So I have 2 gyms, and then I have about 12 or 13 affiliates over Europe.
Fuck.
Not bad. Not bad for a guy that nobody knows, right?
Come on.
No, I'm not the Roger Gracies or the Braulio Estimas or the Hanzo Gracies of this world, but I try to build my own team, preferably from the ground up. And we're doing okay. Cannot complain.
Seems they are doing a good job. I mean, 13 places throughout Europe.
It's not bad. I'm very happy. I'm also very happy with the people in my team. We're very close, and we just keep building. And believe it or not, I get requests of people to want to join my team, and a lot of times I say no, because I want to make sure that I need to make sure that it fits in my philosophy.
Right.
And I'd rather have a white belt joining me than a black belt, because there's always distortion. If you're a black belt, you already have a vision, and I want to have my vision.
I see.
I want to have my vision on jiu-jitsu, and it's similar to others, but my style is a little bit unorthodox, and so I want to push my style throughout my organization.
Right. And so what is your vision, because you mentioned it a few times?
Yeah, so coming from the Renzo Gracie background, we have a legacy to uphold, and Renzo's style has always been very aggressive. Okay. You attack to finish. Right. Whether it's MMA, whether it's jiu-jitsu, grappling, your goal is to finish your opponent. So that's the foundation of the Renzo Gracie jiu-jitsu style. You see it all over the guys that came from Renzo's. They're all pushing to finish. Than me, I have a certain philosophy where we focus on that concept of finishing, but also the control element for me is, and it sounds maybe a little weird, or maybe it's logical, but I try to focus on the shoulders and the hips. Okay. A lot of people you need to block the hips, but I'm a bigger fan of controlling the shoulders, or neutralizing the shoulders. So my philosophy is I want to control the hips, neutralize the shoulders, or neutralize the hips and control the shoulders. Okay. If I can control the far side shoulder, it'll be very difficult for a person to move. Right. The hips are so strong. If you do jiu-jitsu, even in Muay Thai kickboxing, right, your hips are immensely strong. If you have weak hips, you cannot throw a kick. Right. You throw one kick and you'll go, there goes my hip. Oh, why did I kick? Same in jiu-jitsu. If you don't have good hips, strong hips, it's not much going to happen. So neutralizing the hips is very, very difficult. Mm-hmm. So I prefer to control the hips and try to neutralize the shoulders. Right. So, and that philosophy, over time, I developed a series of positional advantages, positional controls, and attacks within that philosophy. So, if you see me teaching my stuff, it looks similar, but there's very minute details. I see. And that's what kind of I like to push. And when I do seminars, I teach these things. And same when I come to my affiliates, guys, we did something new. You might have seen it this way, but we're doing it this way for these and these reasons. I'm also a big fan of learning people to think. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like with you. when you teach a jab,
Right.
there's a million ways to throw a jab.
Of course.
But there's only a few ways to throw a jab the right way. Only a few ways,
make it
right?
work, right.
Because everybody, the elbow goes out, they punch, the elbow stays as long to the ground as you can, and you step in, all these things. But somebody comes in, you can tell them 1,000 times, they're not going to do it. Because they have a pre-programmed mindset, it's just punch forward.
Right.
All right, so once I start, teaching, I always say, guys, think. I want you to think. When I show you something, there's a reason why I teach you something. So I want you to think. And as we progress, your thinking process should be in such a way developed that when we do something, you immediately start to recognize why we do stuff. It takes about 8 years. So everybody's listening. Oh, so I have to think, and then I said, it takes about 8 years.
This is the silent, bro.
And then you have your purple belt or your brown belt, and and then, oh shit, really?
This is what he meant. Okay.
Yes, it's the same with boxing or Muay Thai. It's not that easy.
It's not.
It looks easy, but you know why it looks easy? Because we're pros. We've been doing this for X amount of years.
Right.
And it didn't come to us like this. We had to fight, struggle, train, do all those things.
On the other hand, today it's like way easier to learn because there are so many good people that you can learn from. And the information is
That's the thing. That's the thing. When I started in 2005, which is also a funny story, which I tell later.
For sure.
I mean, back then already you had YouTube.
Right.
But now all the information available to all these guys. And don't forget, back in the day, my teachers, they had to reinvent stuff.
Uh-huh.
Now there's so much more stuff available to the new group of people. They learn faster, but they also invent faster.
Right.
If you come from nothing and then getting to something, it's much more difficult to expand than when you have something and you build on.
Right.
And you build. Right. So that's what I always tell my guys. And I had great teachers, man. The Henzo, the legacy is insane. So, but nowadays you see guys doing shit, and how is it? Why didn't I think about this? And I'm pretty smart guy. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I understand martial arts, And I'm looking at something. What that makes sense. I didn't think about that. Why is it's just the development goes so fast. These kids nowadays, man, you have kids of 19, 20 years old, and they're black belts, but they're not just black belts. They're high level, and they do stuff that you go wow. Yeah. But the caveat was this: the downside is, let's see if they do it in 10 years.
That's another question.
See, my game also has changed because I was always very fast, very aggressive. Mm-hmm. Then I got back surgery, a couple of knee surgeries. It starts to slow you down. Then you get a little older, it starts to slow you down. Then you get injured again. So you change you have to change over time, because like we were discussing previously when we got here, you're not 25 anymore. We think we are 25.
Sometimes we do.
We do, right? And then we move, we go,
quickly.
oh no, I wasn't 25. Yeah. Oh, my back, my knee, my arm. Yeah. Whether it's boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, age catches up, We have our knowledge level is light years ahead of these young kids. Yeah. The body just, slows us down.
That's how it works.
That's just how it works,
Right.
And it is what it is. The fun thing is, like we said, we have one fight. Always have one fight left.
Yep,
that's what we gotta focus on.
To have the last good one in us. Right. You said you started 2005?
Yeah, it's funny because in 2003 I moved to the US for work.
Okay, what did you do? We'll have a little break to thank the people who are supporting me on Hero. Check out the link below the podcast or below the video on YouTube. It's the way how to support this podcast long term. So thank you everyone who's already doing it, and feel free to join them. Then I'd like to thank my sponsors. First one is Monster Energy, who are supporting me with all the drinks that I enjoy, to be honest. And we got some cooperations. The first one is chokedopus.tv. It's a Czech website with instructionals with the best people from Czech Republic, mainly on the ground stuff. So feel free to check chokedopus.tv, and the promo code is HOMOLAK, HOMOLAK 15. Another cooperation is goldnutrition.cz, all the nutrition supplements. So feel free to check them as well, goldnutrition.cz, and the promo code is HOMOLAK 10. At the end, I have to mention MMAshorties.cz, the guys who helped me to spread this word to the world. And we do breakdowns together and just a bunch of good, cool dudes. So MMAshorties.cz. And now back to the podcast.
I was a director for supply chain, so they moved me to the States because they wanted to have a more international audience there. So I moved to the States, and then, you know, a funny thing is my mother always told me, what's on your plate, you finish, right? You eat what's on your plate. Now, you know the US, you get big portions.
You do.
So we were eating, and then I ate everything, and people looking at me, why does this guy? Then after a few months, I start to realize, oh yeah, people take this shit home, you know, they take half the food home and eat it the next day. By the time I was like blowing up, I mean, I didn't do too much sports, just to the gym a little bit because I was traveling the whole world for the company. So I was almost 100 kilo, but not 100 kilo like I am now, like a softie 100 kilos, you know. So from my home to my work, there was this little school open in this nice little town, kickboxing. I'm gonna go back to kickboxing, get in shape because I'm tired. So December 30th, I will never forget. I drove to the school after lunch. Said I want to sign up January 1st. Like a New Year's resolution? In the US, yes. I want to sign up January 2nd. I'm gonna be here. Really, yes. I'm from Holland. I'm here for a couple of years for work. I'm gonna sign up and start training. All right. So I'm starting kickboxing. Starting to get in shape a little bit. You know, feeling good. Then George, my trainer, said, "Why don't you start doing jiu-jitsu?" And back then it wasn't as known as it is now. I said, what is jiu-jitsu? Then I saw it's shit. This is this shit from the UFC 1, 2, and 3. Holy crap! I always wanted to do this.
Right.
But my mind says I'm not gonna roll around in guys with pajamas that fucking lay on me. Are you kidding me? I'm not that type of guy, you know. With all due respect, no offense given to anybody. So after a while, he kept asking me, "Come do it. It's fun." Blah blah blah. And he had like 3 or 4 guys doing it. I said, no, nothing for me. I said, okay, let's make a bet, he says. I said, okay, tell me, George, what's the bet? You can punch, kick me, do whatever you want. I'm just going to do jiu-jitsu. Same as UFC 1.
Yikes.
I said, George, come on, man. You're my trainer, my friend. I'm a decent kickboxer, you know. I had a couple of fights. Although I was older, I was still pretty good shape when I started again. I said, no, George, I can't do this. Said, do it. I said, sure, George? Come on, man. No, I can't. Just do it. Okay. So I put on my gloves and shit like that. The bell goes. He says, ready? Yeah, let's go. So I walk slowly and I try to punch him. In no time, I'm on my back and I'm screaming. So what the fuck just happened?
Nice.
And he just arm triangled me and and I'm tapping. And George, what the fuck just happened? He said, this is called jiu-jitsu, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I said, George, let's change the contract. I'm starting. So the next day I started training jiu-jitsu. Still did the kickboxing because I was also teaching him there, and haven't looked at a day back.
Nice.
That's how I entered the jiu-jitsu world.
That's the way.
It was awesome because, you know, jiu-jitsu, you know, gave me a lot of opportunities. I'm part of the Renzo Gracie family. I've traveled all over the world. I built my own school. I quit my job, I think, in 2014, 2015. And I had a really good job. And I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to do this. And since then, I'm living from jiu-jitsu and from martial arts because I still teach kickboxing and boxing and stuff like that. But predominantly, I do myself. I teach the jiu-jitsu classes, and you know that's where we are now. You know, like I said, 2 own schools and a couple of affiliates and being in the car with you.
Nice.
So that's what jiu-jitsu did for me.
How was that kickboxing you did before back in Holland?
Yeah. I was young when I did it, and I never made pro because I was too young. But I have like 25 fights or something.
Okay.
I lost 3. I remember the last fight I lost. It was really stupid. I was knocked out for like almost over a minute.
A solid one.
Yeah, man. I was really, because I threw a cross. I remember what happened as of today. I threw a right cross, but I was off balance of my foot. So he inside kicked me, and then I fell even more forward. And he came with a hook afterwards. So I went like, boom. That was like the first round. It was my third or fourth loss. I'm not even sure.
Right.
That I had enough of this bullshit. It hurts too much, man. then I quit. I was just training then, and then I did other stuff, you know. But that was my kickboxing story. And then I came back to the States, to Holland. And I think this is 2010. I came in contact with Cor Hemmers, you know, famous trainer from Golden Glory. The guy is amazing. His knowledge about kickboxing is insane. And he asked me if if I'm interested in helping there, because somebody's doing MMA. I don't know how we got to meet each other. I think I don't remember, but we met and I helped the guys out there, and I had the privilege of meeting Alistair Overeem back then when he went to the UFC, and I worked with him a little bit, you know. Okay. And that guy is a phenomenal fighter. Another guy that I met there was Jan Olaf Einemo, which is a guy nobody knows too much because he's one of the old school grappling guys, but he's the last one to beat Roger Gracie in a grappling match. Okay. Grappling, not jiu-jitsu. So no gi. No gi. And this was the ADCC in 2003 in Brazil. And it's a phenomenal story because he was in the finals with him. And the Brazilians didn't want Roger to lose, so they did everything for Roger not to lose. Extra time, penalties, all this shit. And John he won. The guy is a phenomenal grappler. And unfortunately, he could be a good MMA fighter, but he had stomach problems. And that always haunted him, so he was never fit. But that guy was, his grappling is out of this world. Unfortunately, he's not well known, but he's for sure one of the greats of the let's say the first famous generation. And I had the privilege of training with him. I learned a lot from him, and he's an all around good guy, So over time, I met so many good guys, that came to my academy or went to New York. Because I'm a very loyal guy, so I always go to my gym, because I have 3 gyms that I go to. I go to Henzo's in New York. I go to my trainer, Team Henzo Gracie Danville, which is a small town in Jersey. My trainer George Cernak, and then I go to Karel Silverfox in in the US, and Karel has a couple of schools affiliates here too. He's from Czech origin, right. And he's one of my best friends. We always say that there's only 2 people that we can hang out for a week or more than a week, and that's him with me, and I'm with him, because we like balancing each other out. I guess if he's angry, I'm like, Carl, relax, man. When I'm angry, he's relax. When we're both angry, it's shithole. Hell breaks loose. So that's and then I have Hollis Gracie, Igor Gracie, Gregor, all these guys come to my academy for seminars, awesome. and I go there, and it's all around great. I have no complaints. If the Corona stuff ends then, and everybody in the sports world can get back to normal, it's awesome, because we just keep building and doing what we have to do. Now it's like I said before, it's survival for many people. It is for now. But martial arts is about survival. Martial arts is, you get beat, you stand up again. You get beat again, you stand up again. So I tell my guys, compare it to what we do. You get choked, you have 2 choices. You can quit or you keep going forward. Same here, right? Now is unfortunately, it's not the time for us. It's not the time for a lot of businesses, restaurants. Everybody in this situation loses, and the government also. We can say the government doesn't know anything. Yeah, they don't. Nobody knows. What is the right thing to do? No one knows. I have an opinion. Everyone does. Everybody has an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
That's good. Tell me about Karel Pravec, because he has to be. I never met him. I've seen some instructionals. I've seen Firas Zahabi speak about him really nicely. Who is a guy that I admire a lot. So who is he?
Fox. I always call him Fox, but I have to call him. When I call him Fox, he always says it's Young Master Fox or Young Master Carl, because he's a little older than me. It's funny because Carl is actually one of the scariest people I know. And he's a scrawny old guy, he has his back is fucked up, his body is hurting, When you see him walking, you think, this guy is okay. Okay. I never in my life seen him beat people up like he does, and he does it smoothly. Nice. When he grabs a hold of your neck, almost impossible to escape. It's really because he doesn't have big arms or thick legs, but it's just what he does is technically so perfect. What he does, he's very good. His specialties are guillotines and arm locks. That's his specialty. It's don't let him grab your head, don't let him grab your arm. You're done. And it's the execution is insane. Nice. And And the funny part is, where I worked in the US, Carl's place where he lived was literally 5 minutes away from where I worked. And we never met, but we ended up in the same restaurant because I've been to this restaurant, I've been to this one. So we met in 2008. This was the Pan Ams in New York, Nogi. And I was helping IBJJF doing the mats because they asked, from the Henzo School guys, do you have people who can help? And I said, I'll help. It's good. It's fun, So you see all the good guys from up front, doing that thing. That's a good learning experience. So I had the privilege of doing the mat with Cobrinha, Ruben Charles Cobrinha, the greatest of his generation. And he had to go against Fox. And I think to myself, hold on, this is a Henzo guy. I've seen him in Henzo's. Never, I'm not that guy that goes to talk to everybody. I always, take a step back. I said, how this guy is going? This old guy is going against Cobrinha. I mean, look at Cobrinha. Is monster. I mean, he's fit like there's nobody else. And this old man that looks like. And then he gave Cobrinha hell. Because Cobrinha was scoring points, but Carl doesn't care about points. He just goes after submission.
Right.
And no, I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember what happened. Maybe Cobrinha submitted him or won on points. But after the match, I said, "May I ask you something, sir?" He said, "Yeah, go ahead." He said, "This was insane." And then we got to talk, and then I believe a year later or so, or 2 years later. I met him again in the city to train. I said, "Hey, Carl, remember we were at the," and then we started talking. I said, "Carl, you want to come over for a seminar in Holland?" He said, "Sure, let's do it." And that's it's because back then I had only other guys coming, Hollis Gracie, Igor Gracie, and it's Carl's a nice guy, and we started to talk a little bit more, and since then we were best friends. We're really best friends because. We talk weekly on FaceTime, just chat, just to bullshit, just to scream at each other and swear on the world that we know everything better. And, over time we developed such a relationship. I go to train at his school. I ask him for advice because I see him as my senior, same as my coach George. They're my seniors, so I ask them for advice. And, then we came here. Somehow we got invited to do a couple seminars here. So I went with him. So we toured the Czech Republic, and now he has a school in Trebovice and one in Prague, affiliate, and he's coming back to Czech Republic every year, do a camp and do seminars and stuff. And a guy is first of all, I like him a lot. He's like a brother to me. When we're together, when we start drinking, it's crazy. I can tell you stories, you'll die. The stupid stuff we've done, but he possesses a specific kind of knowledge that's really, really unheard of in the world. The way he do. I mean, Marcelo Garcia is known for his guillotine, but we just do it differently. And what Carl does, I incorporated him in my style too. And it's great. Sweet. And so it's the technical level and skill set for his game is insane. It's insane. And obviously he knows other stuff too, but those specific things I think he's unrivaled in the world. My personal opinion. Right. Unbiased. When I talk about like the business, which for us that's jiu-jitsu is the business, it's different than when we talk friendship, because we discuss jiu-jitsu, and that's nothing to do with friendship. That's how we evolve. What do we better? Carl, what do you think about this? And we talk about these things. Just keep developing things, and it's insane. Like I said, when he gets a hold of your arm or your neck, you better call your mother, because you're gonna piss your pants. Awesome. One time in New York, I was training with this big Polish guy, right? And Carl told him, "Look, I don't know you, I don't want to train with you, but okay, you can train with me, but go easy because of my back and so forth." So the guy dives in like an idiot, hits Carl in the face with his knee or his elbow. So Carl said, "Watch it, man, come on, relax. We're here to train, not to kill each other." Happened the second time. The problem is, when most people get angry, their game deteriorates because they're only angry, they want to kill. Carl is the opposite. When he gets angry, it goes up not 1 notch, not 2 notch, it goes up 10 notches. It goes faster, tighter and harder. So he gets the guy's arm, and the guy starts screaming, Like the whole academy is silent at Henzo. It's a big mat. It's a big mat. Everybody looks and he doesn't let go. They had to, Carl, let the arm go. The guy was screaming. And he was just completely blacked out. Because he told the guy, you know.
So even he has
smart.
He's got a demon inside.
Yes. We all have a demon inside. With Carl, it's a problem. That demon comes out.
Okay.
With Carl, it's a problem. But he warned him, you know. He's an old guy, so you have to be careful.
Right.
You can go hard, but be careful. Especially when the guy says, you know, be careful, go light because of my back. You have to be respectful. Irrelevant to what position the guy is. You have to respect, you know, the incapabilities of the body.
Right.
If you don't do it, then you get punished.
Speaking of that, how old are you?
Me, I'm too old. I'm 53 now. 53, I'm broken up. Everything my body hurts.
Okay, but you still live. That's point number one.
Well, let's define living first.
Okay, you wake up.
I wake up, so I eat.
You're alive.
Yes. No, I mean, since all my life, I try to do sports at the highest level. And I'm not saying I'm at the highest level, but I aim to be the best I can be. And I know I'm not ever going to be the best jiu-jitsu fighter. So my goal is to be the best trainer I can be. And for me, my philosophy, and it's actually funny because I just wrote a piece to my team. My expectation of becoming a blue belt, my expectation to be a purple belt, brown belt, and black. In our sport, you need to be physically as fit as you can be, right. In shape. So I try to stay in shape. I'm out of shape now because I haven't trained for 6 months because of the injuries. But I try to stay in shape. I try to be in shape because you have to, at some point, you have to lead by example with all your good things and your bad things. I mean, we all have good things, we all have bad, we all make mistakes, all those things. But if I ask my guys to do 100 push-ups, I'm doing 100 push-ups.
I see.
If I ask my guys to do 10 laps, I'm doing 10 laps. Because my belief is if you ask for somebody to do something, you have to be able to do it yourself. Don't ask from others what you cannot do yourself. So, and obviously, you know, some things you can do, some things you cannot do.
And
because
you are coaching a profiler.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have one guy that fights pro. He fights at 62 kilos. He's like a machine. When we do cardio drills with him, it's 15 minutes and he doesn't get tired. And then everybody else, after 2 minutes, they're dying. Yeah. I mean, those are different things. But if normal training, I believe you should be able to do.
Yeah. Agreed.
What you ask from your students to do. So that's one. So I try to stay in shape. I try to train at least 2 times a day. Okay. In the mornings I do my weightlifting program, or I do cardio, which I hate. I always hated it in my life. I hate doing cardio. And then at night I teach, and the specific evenings I train, and then specific evenings when I go home I do yoga or something like this. But I need to have that fix. Now, the last 6 months I haven't been able to train. I'm just fucking miserable. I'm cranky, and I have a short fuse. I'm not depressed, but I'm just really upset. So, and I've been sick and all those things, all those injuries. And so I told these guys today, you know, next week I'm fucking done with being a pussy. I'm going back home on Sunday, and on Monday I'm going to start training. Done with the bullshit. It's time to, you know, stop crying.
Nice.
So then I start building up. And, you know, just make sure that we get back in shape. And because I have one more title to win. I have won all major tournaments except one.
Okay.
So I never won the Worlds. So next year I want to focus on winning the Worlds. I've been European champion a couple of times, Pan Am champion. I went to Brazil and won, and it's time to become world champion.
Well, that's a nice goal.
It's a goal. Yeah, I don't know if it's achievable, but I for sure will train for it.
Let's do everything we can.
And then I'll prepare myself with my guys. And we'll see where we end. Well, that's my goal for next year. If everything starts to be a little more open, to give it a shot.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So at the age of 53, you are training 2 times a day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Have to. And then, you know, work. And I'm working on some other business because I want to leave something behind for the other guys that want to make their living out of it. So now I'm doing some other building up some other businesses. Sports related, but not academy related. Right. So we have an adjacency of businesses. So if we have to close again, then at least we can generate income.
Right.
And now that's the next thing I want to expand, and I think we have a good chance of doing something nice with this. And I want to, my loyal guys, I want to bring them into the business. Like the new school we opened, I'm doing with two partners. Mm-hmm. I'm a minority owner. One is the majority owner, one is the other minority owner, so they can learn, and they have a future, you know. And I believe if you have a good school, a good academy, you can make a decent living of it, you know. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do to help, to, you know, at least try to bring others that have been loyal to me and that you know that need it or wanted have a purpose in life.
Right.
You know.
Right. You spoke about loyalty for the second time. They are loyal to your team where you started, and those people that are loyal to you because they started with you. It's like it. Maybe it's not the part. It should be a part of martial arts. As I see it.
See, here's the thing. Loyalty is a strange thing, because a lot of people speak about loyalty, but they don't represent it, you know. And it'll take a lot of time mm-hmm. and effort and mistakes to understand what loyalty is. I'm a firm believer that, you know, once you discuss something with a person, and no matter what happens, you always have each other's back. And we all go through the same motion. We all have, you know, it doesn't matter if it's Henzo or Marcelo Garcia or George, my trainer, or Carl, or these other guys. I spoke to Thomas Buschkamp for the Buschkamp brothers in Germany. They're very awesome jiu-jitsu guys. There's always this generation of people that come in, you put all your effort into it, and they leave. You experience it too. We all do.
It happens.
And that's learning, and that's okay. That's part of the business we're in. My definition of loyalty is that you need to make sure that whatever you do on the mats is good for everybody. Mm-hmm. And then you'll develop friendships with people out of the mats. Right. Because you cannot be friends with everybody. You can be friendly to everybody, but you cannot be friends with everybody.
That makes sense.
And when it comes to business, and you're talking about livelihood, because business is our livelihood, mm-hmm. right? So then you have to figure out, okay, who can help me from a business standpoint to maintain my business, to grow my business, or to expand my business? Mm-hmm. And that's just making mistakes, and finding at some point the right people. Right. And that's time. And to me, that's loyalty.
Okay.
That's once you have those aspects, then you have loyalty. Because I have this couple of guys, I can leave the gym in their hands, and they'll take care of it.
You know, everything's gonna be.
Yes, everything will be fine. But also vice versa. They also know that if they need me, I'm gonna be there for them.
Right.
You know, and that can be everything. And also there you make mistakes. And I'm not a saint. You're not a saint. We all make mistakes, but it's how we deal with those mistakes. We try to deal with those mistakes to the best of our capabilities. Yep. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that good. But you know, that's life. You make choices, and hopefully the choices at the end of the day, when we're all in front of God or whomever you believe in, He makes the balance, and we come out positive.
That's the goal.
If that's positive, we go to heaven. If that's negative, well, you go to some other place. But you know, that's how I kind of stand in life. That you know, your balance should be positive,
right?
And that's how I try to teach, how I try to live, how I try to expand my skill and knowledge to other guys, my experience of martial arts, but also of life. You know.
Right. Nice. How many students do you have?
Well, I used to have a lot. But because of the lockdowns, you know, we're
dropped,
right. And go up, drop, and go. Now we're around 200, so it's not too bad.
That's solid.
And in the new school, we're over 100 now. We started in June, so we opened up in June. So that's going. So we're more than break even now. We're making money there. Like last year, before the first lockdown, it was in February, March. We had like 230 students.
Nice.
And we were moving to 300, you know. So it just set back. Like I said, you know, it is what it is. My focus is helping the people who are still there, making sure they have a good time, making sure they grow, making sure they At least they have an outlet for their frustration, because everybody is frustrated. It doesn't matter whether you for the vaccination, against the vaccination, pro-government, anti-government. Everybody is frustrated now, because nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what will happen. Nobody knows what the right thing to do is. We all have an opinion, but we just have to help each other get through this. I had an interesting discussion about this, because I am for free speech and for free choice. Everybody should do what they have to do for themselves. Mm-hmm. I know a person who's very pro-vax. So she hates anti-vaxxers because they are the scum of the earth. And okay, let me ask you a question. And this is just hypothetical. For sure, it's not going to happen. But your daughter is sick, and she needs a kidney transplant immediately. The only kidney that's available is from somebody that's non-vaxxed. Would you take it?
Of course you will.
So let's put a little perspective on this thing, right? There is more to this than what the politicians. Yes, it's not black and white, and the politicians, they only have one goal. I despise politicians. I just despise them. The whole polarization, what's going on in the world, just drives me nuts. But for me, what's even more a problem is we lost discussion. We've forgone discussion in the democracy, also in science. Yep. The biggest thing in science, and you can have a orthopedic surgeon A, orthopedic surgeon B, and they have a discussion of what is the best treatment, and then they learn to get better. Now we don't have discussion anymore. It's this and nothing else. How is this possible? How can I not have a different opinion? We're doing an experiment with vaccines. I mean, it's in the leaflet. It says experimental drug till 2023 or something like this. How can we not experiment with other medication if there are? I mean, you read the internet. There's other solutions.
They say they are.
They say, right? So why are we doing one experience but not other experience? If this is such a crisis, shouldn't we do multiple experiments to get the best?
Yep. But
what do I know? I'm just a simple jiu-jitsu guy. But that's my view on what's going on. And everybody has a view. I try to be as neutral as possible, because I know everybody is. I mean, I see young people, burning away because they don't see their school. I have this one girl, she went to university and she hasn't seen anybody of her classmates in a year and a half.
That's crazy.
Imagine you being 23, 24. Go back in time.
Yep.
When we were 23, 24, we were out partying, right? Learning life, experiencing life. These kids have to sit home behind a computer. And there's now all the psychologists all over Europe, they all agree, and the governments agree too, that having kids away, or young adults away from school, it's going to be a problem down the road.
It will.
It's going to be. Now in Holland, if you need psychological help, I think the waiting list is 18 months. 18 months. If you have anxiety or PTSD, 18 months.
So it's too late already.
It's too late already, right? And this is where I'm struggling with this whole.
I mean, the solution to close everyone back home just with the screen. When you see what they want you to see, there's not a way to be.
But what's the alternative? See, for me, living is trying to get the most out of life.
You always find a way. You can go outside.
I'm not afraid of dying.
There's always things.
I'm not afraid of dying. If I die now, dude, man, I had a great time in Prague. I met you. We have a great discussion. I live my life. I'm not afraid of dying. That doesn't mean I want to die.
Yeah.
That's a different thing, but I'm not afraid. Nowadays, I see a lot. People are afraid of dying, so they don't live.
Yeah, that's happening because that was like taken out from our lives. Back in the days, the whole family lived together.
Yes.
And you saw the death throughout your life.
Yeah.
These days, you put your elders somewhere
away.
Else.
It's weird,
yeah.
and you see the fear in people of COVID, and I can understand it a little bit, but on the other hand, these are the same people that wake up every day, do the same thing all over. It's a distorted way of comfort, I think. But that's my view. I'm fortunate enough that I had a really good job, so I had sufficient funds to balance out what happened. And I'm trying to help everybody, you know, to do that. And I hope at some point when my money is gone and I'm not able to live anymore, that some people will say, here's some bread, here's some stuff. But to that point, I'm just sharing what I can with people and you know, try to keep their mind thinking forward and not living in the moment right now, because living in the moment is not good. It's not good. You know, I used to live in the moment pre-corona, because you have to live every day, enjoy your day every day. We cannot do any, because if we live in the moment, we're only busy with COVID-19 and the lockdowns and the mask and all that stuff.
It's still choice. I mean, even today we are having a good day.
Yes.
No matter what is happening outside, we figure out to have a good day.
Yes, so and everybody should do that. Figure out a good way, and don't say, oh, this guy is bad because he's not. Why is having a different opinion bad?
It's not.
I don't. That's the whole purpose of a democracy.
And that's the way how we evolved.
And that's the way how exactly and how we learn. So. If we go to your gym and we start talking about Muay Thai, for sure you and I are gonna have a different opinion.
Oh, sure, of course.
Because you'll come from this school, I come from this school, and but we punch like this. Oh, but explain to me why you step in like this. And you go talking about your step in like this because this I said it. So wow, fucking never thought about this.
And it will bring everything to
yes, and then
us.
I start thinking, discussing, and we figure out something beautiful.
That's it.
Nowadays, it's scary to me that there's only one voice in a democracy. No, there's one voice in communism. There's one voice in fascism, but not in a democracy. So I'm very anti-government. Why I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a government. My belief is the government should touch as little as possible, because they only fuck things up. Let me give you an example. If you want to have your house painted, you get a painter, right?
Right.
If you need new furniture, you're gonna get somebody who does with wood, right? If you need a wall built, you get a guy who does the masonry, right? You have a minister of defense. Is he an ex-soldier? He's some fucking idiot.
Got it.
Why is this possible? How is this possible? In politics, people that have no clue have the power. I just don't get this.
There's something about it.
I just don't. So for me, the government is a accepted evil, and they should touch as little as possible. The more they touch, the more fucked up it's going to get.
They should set the boundaries and let you do whatever you want.
People should have responsibility in their lives, but people they live in a comfort zone. Our lives have become very comfortable. Back in the day, when I started training martial arts, and we didn't pay attention, we got hit with a stick. That's how we were trained. Same for you, right?
I remember.
You remember. Nowadays, you have to have like velvet gloves on. So, no, just make.
Take your time easy.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen in my gym. I mean, I'm very straightforward. I'm trying to help everybody, but it's not gonna be, it's not. No. Right. No, it's gonna be. This is the way, and the whole society has gotten so. It's mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to me why we're so soft. But there's a reason for it, because nothing has happened. We have been living a cozy life since the 70s.
Right.
No struggle. All these kids nowadays, they don't know what that resistance. They don't know what struggling is. They have their Nikes. They have their Levi's. They have their iPhones. They have their PS5.
Well, you still travel a lot, and you got affiliates in different countries.
Same everywhere. Same everywhere. And most of my affiliates, they're a little older. They all come from martial arts background, and they all have the
same story everywhere.
Fucking pussies, man. I should not. My apologies, but it's just strange to me. It's just. I had a discussion. This is a funny story. And I'm all for equality. Everybody should be treated equally, right? So I had a discussion with the woman, and she's really pro-feminism, which is fine. I don't know. So I like to have the discussion, like I said. And she said, we should all be equal. I said, we are equal. But we are more equal in some parts and less equal in other parts. So what do you mean? I said, okay, you have a daughter, right? You live on the 4th floor. You have a nice apartment here, 4th floor. Fire breaks out underneath you. You need to be rescued with your daughter. You believe that everything is equal. how do you want your daughter to be rescued? By some woman that weighs 65 kilos, who carries 30 kilos of gear on their back, or by some guy that weighs 95 kilos like me and comes up top? Who do you want to come on top and save your daughter? It's like the other thing. It's balancing out. We are equal in certain parts. We are more equal in other parts, and less equal in other. There's a place and time for everything, but we are not equal.
We are not the same.
Men and women are not the same.
Yeah.
We have the same rights. We have the same beliefs, but it's just, and these things that it's just that people think about. We should have the same equal. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yep.
It's impossible. It's physically impossible. Mentally, yes. Maybe mentally, yes. But physically, no. If we're all equal, right? They always say, should have the same gender pay. Okay. But if you want the same pay, you should also have the same performance.
Mm-hmm. That's how it should be.
Same pay, same performance. Let's put Amanda Nunes, the greatest women champion in MMA history. Same weight to a guy. Not even the top guys. Who do you think is going to win?
That's how it is.
So we are not the same. We have the same rights, we have the same beliefs, but physically we are not the same. And we should really start accepting this, in this world has gone crazy. It's beyond my understanding.
It was accepted for centuries, but
yes, and
I mean it got us here where we are. So it wasn't bad, because it led us to evolve to here.
Of course.
Have that cozy life.
Of course.
And everything. So,
but should a woman be a CEO of a big company? Of course.
why not?
If she has the capabilities.
That's it.
I had female bosses in my life. They were one of the best bosses I had. My first female boss. I don't think I've learned as much from anybody as from her.
Nice.
She was tough, but she was smart. She was the person for the position.
Right.
I don't care if you're female, male, black, brown, yellow, green. If you're the right person for the job, you should get the job, irrelevant of whatever.
Yep. Understood.
That should be the guidelines, not all the other nonsense. And that's the same thing in martial arts. I treat everybody equal, but I always also take in consideration that a female is always going to be weaker than a male. So I tell my guys, when you train with the girls or the ladies, be smart. Don't use your muscle head. Try to help each other to grow. So that's how I try to stand in life. It's for me. It makes most sense.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I get discussions with people that you're wrong. So prove me wrong. Let's go back to martial arts.
Yeah, and martial arts are clean in this, because it doesn't matter if you are black or white or Asian. You are just the training partner on the mat, and that's it. That's the important part.
But also fighting. The most honest, Henzo said this, and I fully agree with him. The most honest thing in life is fighting. You put two people in a cage or a ring,
yeah,
and they choose. People can say, it's barbaric. That's okay. You can have your opinion. But those two people made the choice, decided to be there.
Yep.
And they're not mean. They're executing their job. Because most of the time, when the fight is done, 99.9% of the fight is done, they pay each other respect, which is the thing that we learned over thousands of years in martial arts and fighting. It's the most honest thing. And
you get to know the guy really good.
Yes.
In like 5-minute fight.
You get punched in the face, you get kicked in the leg or choked, and holy shit, that hurts. Oh, that was good. I escaped. Okay. And then somebody wins. Why? Yeah. Because he was better that day. It doesn't get any simpler than that. And it's also honest.
It is.
The referee is there to keep it honest, yeah, which most of the time they do, yeah, and everybody makes mistakes, but overall, again, 99.9%, the referee is there to make the fight evolve in an honest way. Right. And that's it. Now let's compare martial arts or fighting with other sports. How dirty is football?
Okay, whatever you choose.
Whatever you do, right? Sneaky from the back. And when you tell people that, yeah, but they don't punch each other in the face. But we choose to do it that way.
Yeah.
And you can find it as barbaric. We look at it from a different way. For us, it's an evolvement. It's a test. The ultimate test for us. And it's been going on. It'll never go away.
Yep, that's it. That's why it's so popular these days, because we don't have to do it, but we choose
Exactly,
to.
we choose to do it.
And people who watch it they
Yes.
got it inside as well.
Yes.
They didn't choose to fight, but they still want to see it, at least.
Now compare this with big companies. How filthy and dirty are big companies when it comes to stabbing people in the back, right? Because they want to move up a ladder in the hierarchy. In martial arts, it doesn't happen, because if you see this happen, I see this happen in your academy.
You're done.
Boom, out of the door.
Yeah.
You make one mistake in your life. I should have done this before. Now you know, out right away. You get into the cage or the ring. There's one winner and one loser. That's it.
Nothing in between.
Nothing in between. It's a beautiful thing about our about fighting and martial arts.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. It's pure and honest.
You said you traveled the world with the martial arts. Which is the most interesting place you've been to?
Ooh, well, obviously Thailand. I was in Thailand, and it was actually I didn't know. It was the birthday of the Queen,
Right.
in Lumpini Stadium.
Nice.
And I didn't know, and yeah, so I went there and I bought tickets ringside, because it's dirt cheap. So I said ringside, and then it was loaded with people. So I asked the guy next to me who spoke a little bit of English. So I know Lumpini is big and stuff. I just know that we have 5 title fights today, and because of the Queen's birthday.
Right.
And then there was a parade, passing the cheering, all that stuff. So it was 5 title fights. Some of the most brutal fights I've seen. Fucking insane how tough these guys are, man.
Impossible.
And crazy. You have no idea until you've seen it live. So Bangkok for me was yeah, and I've been to the United States, Costa Rica, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Brazil.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been to a lot of Germany, all
around Europe,
all
for
around.
sure.
Yeah, I've been all around for Europe.
How about Costa Rica? My friend has been there like 3 months ago, and he was like, hey, there's the place to be.
Costa Rica is beautiful, man. Imagine you're driving in your car and you see mango trees with ripe fruit, and it's just there for you to stop and eat.
Yikes.
And then I drive along the ocean, and you see the ocean, and it's just magnificent, and the people are so friendly. It's insane how friendly these people are. Insane. I never met a cranky person there, and this year was the second time. It's just mind-boggling. So helpful. But then you start to think about it a little bit and read about it. It does make sense, because some time ago they made a decision that for that country,
Right.
tourism, ecotourism is the way to go. So they preserved and reserved, all the natural habitats, and people come there not to destroy, but to help, to build, to enjoy nature. And everything there is geared towards making sure that the people who come there have a great time. The drivers, the people in the airport, everybody is friendly. I never met an unfriendly person there. Never.
Cool.
And I've been there two times like this. Like, let's say that's in 20 days in my life. But it's magnificent. The countryside is extremely beautiful. The food is, and most of the food is grown there. So it comes fresh from the tree on your plate, fresh from the ocean on your plate, and it's just,
that is
and
something.
it's you really get out of the Western life where everything is rushed and you have to do that. Blah, blah, blah. There you just. Their way of saying is pura vida, live pure life.
Okay.
It is.
Nice.
It is. It's one of my maybe my most favorite place now. And I've been for my work. I've been all over the world. I've been in Australia, Asia, South America, Africa. I've been all over the world. Costa Rica is go there.
Okay.
Experience yourself.
Yeah.
Take
Put it
2
on my
weeks.
checklist.
Put it on top.
On top of the checklist.
Put it on top on your checklist. Take 2 weeks. Get a car. Renting a car is dirt cheap, and just drive. There's plenty of hotels. You don't have to make reservations. You just drive around and enjoy. It's magnificent. It really is. Yeah.
Nice. That's a good tip.
I like it, and I'm very critical.
And I guess I will too. As long as I speak with you, we kind of understand each other. So
Yes.
gonna
No,
be a
it's
place for me.
amazing. Really, it really is. It really is amazing. It is. Yeah. Nothing bad to say about Costa Rica.
Okay. And how about your private life? You got some hobbies besides?
Yeah, I like drinking.
Like
I like drinking. You know, I
Okay.
like drinking and eating. So my hobbies. When I come home, I cook. You know, I come home in the afternoon from training or teaching. I'll make food and I work. I go back to teach again, and I come home. I cook, and every day, my schedule is pretty much the same. And at night, because I'm home by 10:30, so I cook, or maybe I have something left on the day. I cook. Then I sit down, I take a nice beer, take a nice glass of wine, or take a nice whiskey. I like whiskey, by the way. I like Republica rum. For the people that are listening, Republica rum is really
kinda
good.
good,
Yeah, it's
really.
very nice. It's very nice.
And for the price, it's also drink.
But it's great. And that I do this every day. I take a drink every day. I don't think because I'm an alcoholic, because I can quit
We
drinking.
get visitors, I guess.
But it calms me down.
See.
Because I work, 15, 16 hours a day, and it calms me down, and I just sit down and relax, and that's my own time. Then I know when I have my drink in my hand.
That's it.
That's maybe sometimes I have a little more than one, but
It happens.
it happens, right? But that's just how I try to balance and get calm,
Yeah.
And then in the weekends, I don't have a lot of friends, but I visit friends. But most time I'm just busy with
Busy in the gym,
with the
right.
gym, with the gym and the other stuff. And I have dogs, so I walk my dogs, I play around, and then in the weekend it's mostly I chill. I do some administrative stuff, and I just chill, watch a movie, or read a book, or start studying some things, or thinking about. I like to think about stuff a lot, so figure out if it's sports related, some concepts, or if it's non-sports related, how I see certain things and how I would solve certain things. Because like going back to COVID, we have a lot of restrictions, but no solution. And then relating this back to martial arts, we need to have a solution, right? If we're fighting and you have a certain combination that hits me all the time, I better find a solution really quick.
Yep.
Same in jiu-jitsu. If the guy is doing the same thing all over again, yes, I better have a solution real quick. So that's how I think about life a little bit, and just figure out what if. But I try to live not too far ahead. Now we have to a little bit, because like we said earlier, we need to survive the coming 2 years. Not just we, but a lot of people in the sports industry.
Hopefully it's gonna be over soon.
I hope so too, man. I hope so. I want to go back to being normal again. And being normal is just without restrictions, without the polarization, without the hate, because the hate gets to me. People start to hate other people, and that's not a good reflection.
It's not.
That goes back a long time, where in the middle half of the last century, people start to get unfunded hate.
And it didn't take that long to happen. That scares me a bit, because everything was perfect, and then like.
Yes, I was with one of my best friends. We were in Poland for a business meeting, and then we said we're close to Auschwitz. Let's go visit Auschwitz, because I want to see it. And Auschwitz didn't bother me so much, but Birkenau did bother me. Mm-hmm. Because then you see from the movies where the train arrives, where they go into and then you start reading a little bit about the history. Why? Because I know a lot about World War II, but the some of the fine things I didn't know, and then you start realizing this is unfunded hate. Mm-hmm. First of all, I dislike people, a lot of people. I like a lot of people too, but hate is I don't understand hate. And then with the Nazis, it was unfounded hate. Mm-hmm. That to me is strange, and a lot of people say, oh, you cannot compare this to what's happened now, but you kind of can. If people start already saying, governments, well, if you're not vaccinated, you cannot do anything. That's scary.
It is.
That for me that's scary, And people say, well, you should get vaccinated then. Yeah, but democracy is choice.
It should be. It
right?
Used to be.
It used to be. Why? So that to me is scary. But like anything else, I think we're so far evolved that we'll learn from it. We will not make the same mistakes, and it will. Every circle has a downturn, So it'll go up, and everything will correct itself over time. And I think
sooner or later,
and this too. Once shit really hits the fan, things will change.
Zombies will
now
come.
it's fear. Now it's everybody has fear. Everybody is afraid. Okay. That's okay. It'll go back. We have to believe. If we give up believing,
it's over.
It's over. Then we're doomed as a society, as mankind. And I believe we martial artists, our struggle has always been real. Training has always been a struggle. Fighting has always been a struggle. We have a role to play here.
I see.
At least for our people. To not give up.
Right.
We cannot allow this to continue.
Right.
So we have to keep fighting.
Pretty much the same thing we do the whole life.
Exactly. You know,
right.
if we allow struggles to overtake us, why do we fucking even do martial arts? Why do you even get punched 25 years of your life in your fucking face? I mean, your nose is like this way, that way. I've broken my nose 3 times. You know, I had 11 knee surgeries. I had back surgery. To give up now? No, it's not gonna fucking happen.
Right.
No, if it's at least for the small amount of people that reside under us, we should lead the way and believe that it will change.
Yep.
We have to.
Oh yeah. That was nice. But it's true. I agree.
Nothing else we can do, man. Nothing else we can do.
Right.
If we give up, why are we even in martial arts if we give up?
Yeah, that's not the way. You said 11 knee surgeries?
11 knee surgeries.
Isn't it a little too much?
No, man, it's good.
It's good?
Yeah, last one I had was a funny story. Last one I had because I was training for a year and a half with 2 bum knees, meniscus in both knees. I didn't want to get surgery, but at some point it starts to get really painful. So in October 2009, I did 1 knee. In November, and I was training a week after.
Okay.
In November 2009, I did the other knee, training a week after. 2010, I won the European Championships. So it's here. It's here.
Yep.
The body is weak. The mind should not be weak. And I strongly believe in this. There's a lot of bullshit about, you know, if you set your mind right, you can do anything. You know, do what you love. That's all bullshit. If you have a family and bills to pay, it's not easy to quit your job and do what you like. You know, yeah. I want to be a jet fighter. But I'm 53 years old. How am I going to be a jet fighter? That's what I like to do. I was fortunate enough to have a good job, but I worked hard. I went to university. I studied all my life. I worked hard all my life to create an advantage position for myself. At the same time, you know, I learned being a businessman to run a business. And that helped me exploring this to do what I do now. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. What was the question again?
Like you spoke about just believing is
yes.
not enough.
So, yes, you should believe in what you want to do and what you can do, but also be realistic. Also be realistic. Mm-hmm. Once I had my back surgery, I knew I was not going to be the same athlete, whatever you want to call it, a sportsman, whatever you want to call it, like I was before. Yeah. So you find a way. It's about finding a way. Everything you do in your life is about finding a way. It doesn't always have to be the right way, because if it was always the right way, you would not evolve. You would not become better.
Yeah.
Stress or resistance are the keys to evolving. And that's a problem in today's society. All these young people, they have stress because their iPhone is old. Their iPhone is old. They now have an iPhone 11 and the new iPhone 13. Daddy, my opinion. Everybody can disagree. This is my personal opinion. No, man. Come train martial arts. I don't care what martial arts you do. Then you know stress. Then you can deal with certain things. You know, whether it's boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, I don't care. I strongly believe that for people, martial arts is a good way to educate themselves and to get their head straight.
Funny, that's the thing that I come to in almost every episode of my podcast is this. Like, we recommend everyone to do martial arts because it helps you to evolve. It helps you to be able to deal with stress. All the stuff.
And why don't people do it?
Because it sucks.
Because it sucks, right? Yeah. It's tough. Yeah. You have to get up. You have to do something.
Yep.
It's easier to be on the couch with a beer and a bag of potato chips and watch TV and, oh, this guy can fight. Look at this. Look how he can fight. No, that's not a fucking fighter. That's a movie. But what do you want to give to society? How you want society to be? Robots? Is that where we want to go?
It's happening, but I don't want that.
So I strongly believe that the martial arts community has a role to play here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we know what it is to fucking have stress. We know what it is to have pain. We know what it is to fight.
And it's still nothing compared to like Middle Ages and people used to cut their heads.
But even compare it to nowadays Africa, how people struggle just to get water. Look what Elon Musk did. He told the WHO, World Health Organization, give me a plan and I give you billions of dollars to solve the hunger in the world. Where's the plan? The United Nations is an old institute, should be disbanded. World Health Organization should be disbanded. If the richest man in the world tells you, give me a fucking plan and I'll give the money, and it doesn't happen,
yep.
Then people should think, hold on, this guy is willing to give away half his fortune or whatever the amount of money was, if he just gets a plan to get hunger out of the world. Wouldn't you as an organization do everything, if that's one of your responsibilities, do anything in your power to come up with that plan?
Yep.
So why doesn't it happen?
No idea, but it's weird. Because we are like too busy solving those things that we see as a trouble that aren't real and not solving those.
I have an opinion, but it's not a likable opinion.
Yeah.
So somebody has to explain this to me. To me, this is mind-boggling.
It is.
To mind-boggling. Like the hurricanes in the United States, right? Every season there's a hurricane. There's a solution for it. It cost, I think, I read it someplace, I think it's $1.5 billion they solve it. It's been a while since I read about it.
Uh-huh.
The amount of lives and stress and you know, hurt you can save. There's so many solutions for a thing and it doesn't happen. I don't get it. I don't get it. I speak from personal experience. I have a rheumatoid arthritis, and I was on medicine, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and I didn't feel good. And at some point, there's gotta be a different way. So I stopped my medication. I started with alternative treatments. I haven't had arthritis pain a day in my life. Well, I have once in a while, but it's the stress of training. But the real pain from arthritis, it's gone.
Okay.
So there are solutions. And I don't know why we don't push for these solutions. I just don't get it. If the richest man in the world says, give me a fucking plan, and I give you billions of dollars. If some rich guy comes to me and says, give me a plan how you want to grow your business, he'll have it in 2 days.
Exactly.
And I'm on the phone with him. Did you get it? Let's talk.
Yeah.
And hear nothing. That should set people to thinking, right? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't happen. Only a few people think about it. And we're called idiots because we ask questions. Why? Yeah, yep. People say, oh, it's not that easy. Really? Really, you think I'm this stupid? I don't understand. It's not that easy. But we revert back to martial arts. We say, okay, I got beat. I have to fight the same guy next time. I'm going to study. I'm going to make sure every mistake I made is not going to be made again.
And you will at least try to make it better.
Thank you.
And this is the
Thank you.
The plan. If someone would just try to make the plan and say, hey, I think this could work, he would say, no, this doesn't work. Okay, let me.
If 80% of the plan is good, you go fucking execute it, right? If we only eradicate 80% of the hunger in the world.
Awesome.
So why doesn't it happen? Why doesn't...
That's big. Getting to the conspiracies, which I like, to be honest. But some of them are not conspiracies. It's just happening. This is thing that happened. It was in the news. It was everywhere. He said it like publicly, and it didn't happen. Well,
there are conspiracies and conspiracies. I mean, you have the crazy guys, but you also have the and some of the shit is happening.
If you are connecting the dots, you find something.
China said in the last G20 meeting, I think it was 1 year ago or 2 years ago, we should put a chip in everybody. No, the European Union. No. They're like, no. We're going to start with QR codes. I'm not saying we put a chip in our arms.
Not yet.
Not yet. But everybody said a year ago, no, you don't need to have a pass. Now we need to have a passport and a QR code. I'm not saying anything. But everything what happened in history started with little baby steps, right? Little baby steps. I'm scared for the future generations. I'm scared. Really am scared.
Yeah. My friend just shared a meme, and it was like, the freedoms you lose today are the freedoms that the two generations after you will never know existed. So that's it.
Imagine, and I try to be very pragmatic. The lives lost to save us from the Nazi regime. What do you think those people would think now? If those people exist, and let's say we meet them in heaven, and we ask him, "You gave your life for freedom,"
and is it happening?
And look what's happening now. I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical. But at the same time, I have to be optimistic, positive, because if we're not, as martial artists, we're not, then it's done. I think it's done. So I believe all martial artists should have the same belief. You know, we cannot. We have to stay positive. We have to stay focused. We have to, keep our teams, positive and optimistic.
Right.
We have to.
Like it. Yep. Let's do it.
I'm here. That's why I'm here, to support my guys.
Sweet.
To help them to the best of my capabilities, to give them as much support as I can within my limitations, and hope, that in 2 years' time they're still here. In 5 years' time they're still here, and we're back better, bigger, stronger. And I hope this sincerely for every martial arts, for every martial arts school, academy, obviously for everybody. But since we're in the business of martial arts, I hope that people find a way to keep training, to support us, because we need it. We're struggling really hard.
Right.
And hopefully that when everything gets back to normal, people are going to bars again and spend their money in restaurants, and help these people also, because they're struggling too. For me, our business, we have to focus on our business and make sure that we're still here in 10 years. That's my goal.
Oh yeah. Sweet. I would say thank you for the talk. The guys are here already.
I can talk for hours on if you want. I'm not leaving if you tell me not to leave, man.
Let's say we do it another time again.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate the time, the invitation, and hopefully, I'll be back in a couple months, and we'll do it again.
Sweet, I'm for that, and I hope I will have the heating in the car, because it's getting cold now.
Oh man, I don't care, man. When we talk, I don't care. When we talk about martial arts, I don't care. I'm ready to go.
Perfect. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck with everything.
Good luck too, and Czech Republic. Stay strong, stay healthy, help where you can, and let's stay positive and optimistic, and we'll make Czech Republic a strong martial arts country.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby.